Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another open discussion. And today's topic is understanding the deeper dynamics of self sabotaging behavior. What is self sabotage? Why we do it? Why it happens to us? And how it impacts us. And we'd also see how we can, look into some of the ways through which we can deal with it. Right. So, majorly, today's session is going to be about becoming more aware about this behavior and becoming more aware about the impact and causes of this kind of behavior. Cool. So, starting with what is self sabotage, right? What is this kind of behavior that we are talking about? So, when we do things, or basically we don't do things which we are required to do, and those things which we are required to do, you know, um, they continue to block our success, or they prevent us from achieving whatever we want to achieve, be it in case of relationship, be it in case of career, be it in case of a social situation, be it any of these things that we want to achieve in our life, and we continue to repeat the same kind of patterns which actually avoid our success in these areas of our lives are self-sabotaging behaviors, right? Right. So that is a little bit about it. And how do we self-sabotage? There are many different ways by which we self-sabotage ourselves. For an example, we procrastinate, right? So a lot of us are aware as adults that, I need to get up in the morning, I need to make a routine, I need to bring these kind of lifestyle changes in my life to live a healthy life. And yet we continue not to do it, right? So we continue to choose the behaviors in our life which actually prevent us from achieving what we want to achieve. So, for an example, somebody wants to attract a healthy relationship for themselves, but and they know the kind of actions that they need to take for that, but then somehow something inside them is, stopping them to, take that action, right? Procrastination could be one thing. Running behind perfectionism is one thing. Judging ourselves, criticizing ourselves, avoiding to see our patterns, avoiding resolving our patterns are some of the common self sabotage, common ways in which we self sabotage. Why do we do that? Right. The whole point is that as an adult, all of us here are adults, and we see that this thing that we're talking about, we really, really desire it, and we really want it in our life, and yet why do we don't take action towards them, right? So that's what we are going to talk about today, right? And there is a very good reason why we don't do that, why we don't take those actions, right? So it's not just about getting to the conclusion that I'm lazy, or I have this habit. All these things are really surface level stuff which we um, tell ourselves so that we can have basic understand or justification of what we are doing. So um, that we do a lot of times, but there are way deeper causes to why we actually do these kind of things, right? So um, let's begin with some of you here, if you want to share any of these things that you have observed in yourself, that there's some change that you want to bring in your life, but somehow you keep postponing it, right? And in case any of you who have observed this and you have also overcome this, so feel free to share your story and experience about it as well, that how did you do that. So let's begin with that. Let's keep it more experiential in nature. I guess that would help more people. So over to you guys. Whosoever wants to share, you can just simply raise your hand, and then we will continue the conversation. Yes, Sonam, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Namika, hi Akarna. So, the behavior which I feel that I keep repeating, there are some patterns which repeating, and those are like, for example, like if I'm in some relationship with another person, then I keep that person on pedestal, and I always find, like if the relationship is not working, I always try to find, like I feel that it was my mistake, it is not working, and I ignore the red flags which are there in the another person. So I want to, this is the behavior I think, like I kind of. Uh, I kind of accommodate all of my partner's need and I ignore my needs to be in the relationship. So this is the
Hmm.
pattern which I have found out, and so I have started working on it, yeah, to break it.
Very good example, Sonam. And you gave the answer also in while explaining your situation itself. So let's try to dig a little deeper into it. So, what is the benefit of having this behavior?
Are you asking me, Namika?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Can you repeat the question? Like, uh,
What is the benefit of having this kind of a behavior?
the one which I am doing. There, what
Yes.
is the benefit? Like, the benefit is like I don't people please others, but I do people please my partner to be in the relationship. So, like, I guess I do all this to be in the relationship, to feel loved and to be validated by my partner, to have somebody with me. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Exactly. So this is a very, very good example, right? And the benefit that you get out of it is that this allows you to have somebody in your life, right? So
Yeah.
for us to understand this, we also have to understand a little bit about how our splits work. So basically, every time, as a child, as a young adult, we go through a trauma, right? And the trauma doesn't have to be in the form of like classic form of abuse that we see. The trauma, even in with subtle things, with like let's suppose there is a 5-year-old child and he wants chocolate, right? And this guy has got cavity, and that's why the parents do not want to give him the chocolate, but then he wants to eat it, but the parents deny it and scold this small child and tell him that no, you cannot have the chocolate, this is not right, this is not good, right? And you shouldn't ask for it, you shouldn't cry for it, right? And the parents, whatever reason, they had to do that. Hmm. Now, um, even though in the classic sense when we talk about trauma and these things, but for a child, this is an event, this is something which happened, and the child perceives it in a certain way. And every time, so I'm just taking example of a very small incident, but this happens every time we desire something, we want something, and we get denied by it. So this was about chocolate. It could be about our emotional needs. It could be about our physical needs. It could be about our spiritual needs. Could be about intellectual needs. Any of these, any example that you pick, right? And we wanted something. Now we didn't get it, so we got hurt, right? There is this wound that got created. Now, for us to handle that wound, there is a part of us which we create to handle it. The part of us which we usually call our defense mechanism, or our coping mechanism, or our protective mechanism. So this protective mechanism figures out a way to handle the hurt. So that will tell the child that you don't have to worry about it, when we grow up as an adult, we'll get this chocolate, right? Or you If I, by observing other people, we learn that if I cry, then I might get it. If I do this, then I might get it. But to handle this situation, there was a split that occurred inside us. And every time that split occurs inside us, we create this kind of a different, personality, different way of dealing with a certain kind of a situation. So now, as an adult, even though we consciously understand that, we don't want to do this, and the adult feels like really guilty. For an example, if you're sharing this situation where you please your partner, so the adult in you is not somebody who's liking to do it, but there is a hurt part of you which, let's suppose, does not want to be abandoned. So that hurt part had the coping mechanism which did please, somebody to keep it going, to keep them, into picture, so that you don't get alone, right? You don't get rejected, or you don't get neglected. And that part comes over at that point of time, and we continue to behave in the same way. So basically, the thing is, we call it a self sabotage, but this part of you, this split of you who is actually afraid of getting hurt. So basically, the protective mechanism is trying to protect you from the hurt of being alone, because it protected a part of you which was hurt by because of being left alone as a child, right? So the intention that this part of you has is actually to protect you. But as an adult, we all understand that this behavior does not serve us anymore. But it has gotten so deep into our subconscious that we, you know, continue to behave the same way, because other than pleasing, we don't know what else to do, right? And how do we don't know how do we deal with the hurt that we had gone through as a child, other than choosing this kind of a solution. So that's how the mechanism keeps going on inside us. So here the thing is that it may look at the surface level like, you are trying to please your partner, so stop pleasing your partner. There's no need to please your partner. But the thing is that you already know that you need to stop doing it. Until we talk to this split, until we give this split the answer, the assurance, what it needs to hear, that it doesn't have to protect you anymore, till then it doesn't go anywhere, right? So that's how, now extrapolating this situation which Sonam has shared, if we take example of any of the self-sabotaging behavior. So let's suppose there's somebody here who procrastinates. So maybe there is a target that you need to achieve at your workplace, and you know that you have to go through certain things to achieve that target, but you are still not doing it, because there is a part of you who is a protective mechanism, who is benefiting by saving you from the pain, saving you from the hurt that you have gone through in the past. Could be a fear of failure, could be a fear of success. Usually it in this self-sabotaging case, it's the fear of success which goes into the picture, right? So does this make sense to you, Sonam, and to other people?
Yes, Anamika.
Yeah. Akarma, you were saying something in between. I cut you off.
No, no, I was. Jinky has her hand up. Yes, Jinky, you can talk.
Hi, thanks, Anamika. Thanks for a clarity on that one. My point is on the example of procrastination, and I'm a 30-year-old person now. But growing up, I have been very, very anxious and a typical ADHD kid who would overthink everything and try to go beyond even perfection. Now that I look back and understand. But lately, in last few months, I'm seeing a shift in pattern. Now, I wouldn't I wouldn't stall things up till deadline. Deadlines are actually scary. I would just want to get it off, what you say, my hand, the task at hand, as soon as possible, irrespective deadline. एक हफ्ते का है, 1 month, I don't care. I just want it off my checklist right away, one in one go. So deadlines didn't matter to me. It was just like I have to do it. I have to just get rid of it and done with it, and in a proper way. But now, lately, this is happening that I'm doing this, dragging it till the last moment. I do it within deadline, but it's just that till last moment. Even right now, I have an assignment that I need to submit, but I'm just dreading to even begin working on that. So this shift from not caring about deadline and just that having that kida to get it off my checklist to uh, dragging it till the last moment. So I'm not able to understand what's happening here with me.
So earlier you used to do it like everything on time and beforehand.
Yes, yes, and that has been the a good part of my life, I would say. Yeah,
Hmm.
this change is happening for last few months now.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. Right. And anything else that has changed in your life, in particular, recently?
I had to leave my job, and that was quite bad experience. The job was, I wanted that job for a very long time. That organization was big, great brand, and it was a big disappointment with which the entire management worked. So I wasn't there for a long time, and then I left it. So that was the most recent event that happened.
Hmm.
And the exit was quite dramatic. It wasn't a smooth exit.
Hmm. Okay. And what is the benefit of now stalling things?
Um, I That's exactly what I'm not able to understand. I still have to do it. Uh, I think it's just that I think my mind is just trying to preserve me from the stress that I used to get in my previous job, and I think my mind is trying to save me from it. But eventually, because I have to do it, then I just put myself into it. But other than that, I'm not able to understand the sudden shift, and because I prefer the former, the previous form of ADHD, because that would just keep me on my toes and active, keep me active. But now it's just like dipped in procrastination. So benefit, I'm not so sure here.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. And any feeling associated with this, have you been able to recognize that?
Mm, okay, I haven't given thought to that.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. I think the feeling that I'm getting here is about the work itself. Okay, that now that I'm thinking about it, it's I'm wondering if it's about the work itself, that if I want to do it,
Hmm.
probably. Yeah. The nature of the work that I'm into, if I at all want to do that in the first place.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
that could be one possible reason why you would procrastinate, because this is something that you're doing for the first time in your life.
Yes, yes.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So it's not exactly a pattern. It's basically a response which you're getting based on the situation you are in.
Mhm. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm. So in case you were continuing to do what you were doing, like, the behavior which you were showing before, so that could be a pattern, right? Because patterns happen in loops.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out if I have this pattern in if this preference of working in other ways. Yeah, even if like as mundane as cleaning the house, I'm stalling it till the end. I love cleanliness. I just that's my default nature. At least that's what I understood of myself. But now I'm like I dread even just getting my room in order. That becomes a huge thing for me. That's I'm seeing this over there also. Now that I'm talking about it.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. So I think this could be more related to the situation that you are into currently.
Mhm.
So is there a way for you to change it or to, look into what exactly is happening with your work? What is it that you're not finding interesting?
Yeah, I think I would have to give more thought to this. I don't think I'll be able to. I need to give more thought to this. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Jinsi. Cool. So anybody else you would like to share? Any self-sabotaging behavior that you have observed? Anything that you want to talk about?
Hi, Anamika. One thing, there has been a particular issue which has been going on in my mind. I have been, I won't say self sabotaging behavior because I am not able to identify my behavior or a characteristic which is making this happen. But for the past some time, I have been, realizing that I was always a very social person, an extrovert. But as of lately, I have not been enjoying company of people much. I confine myself to a very inner core circle of my close friends. But as of lately, I have noticed that I also avoid going out with them, and they also have started avoiding me for whatever reason. There was no fight or conflict of interest apparently, but since a year, I joined a job at a place which was very demanding. So I got very busy there. So I could not socialize much. But as of lately, I realized that I find myself, like virtually cut off from everybody. And I find it a little tough to make friends, which was not the case before. I always had a lot of friends in my kitty. So this is what I'm not able to understand is something. I mean, what is the trigger? Am I doing something to put off or cheese off the people, even in my inner core? Or is it as of lately, like I have been getting into spirituality and you know mindfulness and all that stuff. I have been doing a lot of workshops online and everything. So I don't know, it's the transformation that is making that happen, or am I really doing something which is not liked by the other people?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So do you
Yeah,
really want all of these same things now also?
I want some close friends. Some of them are uh, I mean, they are not, we are not much in touch. I am okay with it, but at times I wonder, when I do introspection, self introspection, then I wonder what has happened. Has it, I mean, is it because of me, or is it, one of the late changes in life? It is just a life phase. I am not able to understand that. So yes, it gets a little scary. Even when I am trying out a number of dating sites, I am not able to connect to a person. And if I do, then somehow things do not go to the next level. So I am not able to understand that it is just one of those stages of life, or am I doing something to, put off the other person?
Hmm. Hmm. And was there any remark or feedback that you have observed from these people?
The only remark I observed was that I was too busy. So a couple of my friends said that we did not invite you because you were busy, you know.
Hmm.
So that's it. Yeah.
And were you busy?
I was genuinely busy for some time. I was virtually cut off from everybody because the job was so demanding that I really did not have the time and energy. But after that, once I realized that I am like totally alone now. I'm a loner totally. So I started making that extra effort to reach out to people, go out and talk to them. But I did not find. I mean, I could change. I could sense the change of heart from their side also. Something inside me also must have changed, and I could feel that change from them also.
Hmm.
So I mean,
Hmm.
I did not feel very welcome. This is what I would want to say in normal vocabulary.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Hmm. And so I'm just thinking of this one. I'm being able to relate to this to one of my, one of things which I have gone through.
Okay.
So how it happened with me that I too felt that I was not connecting to anybody, and I started enjoying my own company more. I
Hmm.
started being alone more, but then there was another part of me who was like still wanted people and all that, right? So there is
Exactly.
this
Especially on
conflict which,
weekends, especially on festivals or on occasions, you want
hmm,
company. I mean, you don't want to sit at home alone.
hmm. Then you need to talk to this part of you inside you, because
Hmm.
it's okay to love being a loner and all that. That's not a
Yeah.
problem, but you also need to stop telling yourself this thing too much, that I'm a
Hmm.
loner, and that, and because then there is a conflict, right? And
Right.
other than that, apart from that, that is about you. But when it comes to relationships and all that, because you still want these things, so you need to start reframing what you tell yourself, that that I'm a loner, instead of saying that yes, I like to be alone sometimes, I
Yeah.
enjoy my company, so that the other part of you who wants friends, that part
Hmm.
does not get feel like it's being rejected.
Right.
Hmm. So that's where different splits of us come, because there is one part of you which actually is a loner, but there is another
Yeah.
which is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would rather be alone rather than being with people with whom I do not feel any connect. But then, as you said, there is the other part, which is wondering constantly at times, why am I not able to connect to anybody? Is something wrong with me? So,
This is, see, what you're talking about is, it can also be related to um, the the spiritual evolution that you're talking about. It is a very common thing for people to
hmm,
experience that
hmm,
when they are doing that. So this is very common thing,
okay,
especially for that reason. Being one of the core thing in mind is why we started the singles club.
right,
This is one of the core reasons that people feel that once they are going down that track, it is very hard for them to connect with. So it's not so much about that you are feeling lonely or there is any scarcity of people. It's not that. There is some background noise from your side. Can you just mute yourself?
okay,
Uh, which, yeah, thanks. So, um, yeah, it's not scarcity of people. That's one thing which is for sure. इंडिया में ही 150 करोड़ लोग हैं, तो वी आर नॉट रियली टॉकिंग अबाउट कि कोई मिल नहीं रहा है. हम ये बोलते हैं कि कोई मिल नहीं रहा है, बट व्हाट इट एक्चुअली मीन्स इज कि मेरी फ्रीक्वेंसी से मैच करने वाला कोई मिल नहीं रहा है, जिसके साथ मुझको अच्छा लगे बात करके एंड ऑल दैट. दैट्स व्हाट वी आर सेइंग. सो से दैट, से द फुल सेंटेंस. डोंट से कि कोई मिल नहीं रहा है, क्योंकि वो तो फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट है, वो तो ट्रू ही नहीं है. इंडिया जैसी कंट्री में अगर हम ये बोलेंगे कि कोई है नहीं एंड आई एम फीलिंग लोनली, सो द थिंग इज दैट इट्स अ चॉइस. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट्स अ चॉइस. क्योंकि मिलने को तो आपको लोग मिल रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको उनके साथ कनेक्शन फील नहीं होता है या सिंक फील नहीं होता है, तो इसलिए आप उसमें बात आगे नहीं बढ़ाते हो, या फिर यू फील कि इट्स नॉट वर्थ योर टाइम, राइट? सो अगर ऐसा है तो इट इज अ चॉइस. सो एक्नॉलेज दैट आई एम चूजिंग टू बी दिस वे. Until you keep telling कि मुझे कोई मिल नहीं रहा है, मुझे कोई मिल नहीं रहा है, then it feels like a victimized statement. तो हम चूज कर रहे हैं, हम फिल्टर आउट कर रहे हैं. हाँ, ये अलग बात है कि इस टाइप के बहुत सारे लोग एग्जिस्ट नहीं करते. दैट आई ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड एंड आई ऑल्सो एक्नॉलेज कि टुडे द general level of consciousness of society has gone down quite a lot. तो that I acknowledge. तो ढूंढने से या फिल्टर आउट करने से बहुत आसानी से लोग मिलते नहीं है, बट लोग तो बहुत हैं. आप फ्रेंडशिप करना चाहते हो, मिलना चाहते हो, लोग तो बहुत है, बट हम कनेक्ट नहीं होते उनसे. तो हम कनेक्ट नहीं हो रहे हैं, तो इसलिए हम चूज कर रहे हैं कि हम उनके साथ अपना टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करेंगे. तो दैट इज अ चॉइस दैट वी आर मेकिंग. व्हेन यू एक्नॉलेज दैट इज अ चॉइस दैट यू आर मेकिंग, देन समवेयर यू आर एम्पावरिंग योरसेल्फ विद दैट कि ये मेरी चॉइस है, and that is your freedom to choose it that way. Otherwise, don't choose. Don't just meet with anybody and everybody, and then you will not have any dearth of people to connect with and all that. तो वैसा है. एंड फॉर दैट रीजन ऐसे लोगों को फिल्टर आउट करके एक जगह लाने के लिए ही हमने सिंगल्स क्लब स्टार्ट किया है. हमें भी बहुत मुश्किल होती है एक एक को चूज करके लाने में, इंटरव्यू करके लाने में. it is not an easy task for us. Many of you are part of the singles club and you see कि धीरे धीरे एडिशन होती है, टाइम लगता है ऐसे लोगों को चूज करके लाने में. क्योंकि अगर हम, I've mentioned this many times to people who we interview with, कि अगर हम ऐसे गेट्स खोल दें अगर उसके, तो हमें तो रोज के दिन के 100-200 रिक्वेस्ट आते क्लब ज्वाइन करने के. तो ऐसे कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लोग बहुत हैं. हम अगर वो फिल्टरिंग क्राइटेरिया हटा दें, इंटरव्यू क्राइटेरिया हटा दें, तो अभी इजीली 10-20,000 लोग हो जाते क्लब में. लास्ट 2-3 महीने से हमने स्टार्ट किया है, इजीली 10-20,000 लोग हो जाते हैं अभी. हमको रोज की 100-200 रिक्वेस्ट आती है. तो उसमें से फिल्टर आउट करके एक एक दो दो लोग ही आगे बढ़ पाते हैं. तो इट इज अ वेरी tedious process to get to that. And I acknowledge this is why when we are part of dating apps or those kind of platforms, वहाँ पे क्वांटिटी के नाम पे तो लाखों लोग हैं, पर जो वॉल्यूम है वो वही है. हमारे क्लब में लोग कम हैं बट क्रीम है. तो वहां पे बेशक हजारों और लाखों लोग होंगे, लेकिन अगर आप फिल्टर आउट करना निचोड़ने लगोगे तो उतने ही निकल के आएंगे जितने हमारे क्लब में है. बट प्रॉब्लम ये होती है कि वो आपको करना पड़ेगा, वो निचोड़ने का काम आपको करना पड़ेगा वहां पे, जो हम कर रहे हैं. तो इट इज दैट. एंड वी हैव आल्सो मेंशन टू पीपल कि डोंट लुक एट सिंगल्स क्लब. दैट इज व्हाई वी हैव केप्ट द नेम एज सिंगल्स क्लब. वी हैव नॉट we have not deliberately said that it is a matchmaking service or anything like that. So yes, there is the intention of people is to find a right partner for them. Along with that, our intention is also for people to find like-minded friends. तो आपको वो फ्रेंड बनाने हैं और आप ढूंढ रहे हो, तो है ना यहाँ पे, like with enough people you can start connecting with them, you can start knowing them and all that. तो वो आपको बात करने के लिए, कनेक्ट करने के लिए, कुछ इंटरेस्ट शेयरिंग के लिए कुछ 1-2-4-5 लोग चाहिए, तो मिल जाएंगे आपको क्लब में से. तो इतने लोग तो हैं अभी. लाइक वी आर क्लोजिंग, वी आर गेटिंग क्लोज टू 100 पीपल इन द क्लब नाउ. अभी नाउ लेटली वी आर सीइंग कि more better people are joining. थोड़ा सा क्राइटेरिया हमने और ज्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट कर दिया है, but people are coming through, and bit by bit we are expecting कि around by November we will be 200 plus people in there as well. तो 100-200 लोगों में आपको 2-4 फ्रेंड्स चाहिए तो मिल जाएंगे ना आपको, ऐसी कोई इतनी बड़ी बात नहीं है, क्योंकि फिल्टर्ड आउट कम्युनिटी है, पूरा उसी टाइप के लोग वहां पे लेके आए। फोकस फोकस ऑन दैट, इधर उधर क्यों देख रहे हो आप, यू आर ऑलरेडी पार्ट ऑफ इट, तो वहां देखो ना, जहाँ हो ऑलरेडी वहीं देखो ना।
Okay, thank you, Akarma. No, at times the other side of me, it wonders that maybe am I doing something to trigger off people. So I was trying to self correct myself also. So yeah, I know my filtration process is very strong. The
आप कर
filters are
भी रहे
very
होगे, इफ यू आर, लेट्स से यू, the way you are now, the way you think, the way you behave, the way you are now is triggering other people, उसमें आपका क्या लेना देना है? डू यू नॉट वांट टू बी दिस वे?
yeah
और
yeah
अगर वो लोग उस चीज को एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं और उनके लिए आपको मॉडिफाई करके उनको अपने आप को पेश करना पड़ेगा, तो aren't you losing the battle here in the first
yeah,
place itself?
absolutely.
तो both ways you see it, it doesn't make any, तो वही काम तो पहले भी किया है ना, अपने आप को मॉडिफाई करके, पीपल प्लीजिंग, ऑल दैट, ये काम
Right.
तो कर चुके हैं ना, ये सारे
Yeah.
काम एक राउंड हो चुका है ना, तो अभी फिर क्यों?
Right. Thank you, Akarma. Thank you, Namika, for the clarity.
No problem.
अकर्मा, ममता बोल रही हूँ।
हाँ ममता,
एक्चुअली मेरे साथ भी ये हुआ और काफी टाइम तक हुआ, वेरी आई यूज्ड टू फील कि मैं थोड़ी ज्यादा ही स्टैंडर्ड रेस कर रही हूँ क्या, मतलब ऐसे इतनी स्टैंडर्ड रेस करेंगे तो अकेले ही हो जाएंगे टाइप, you know.
Same, बिल्कुल.
I had to go through this this phase, and this was like 2020. And when I actually started my leveling up journey and spirituality और बहुत सारी चीजें एक साथ कर रही थी, तो बहुत सारी इमोशंस और बहुत सारी एक्सपीरियंसेस भी हो रहे थे, एंड आई फेल्ट दैट बहुत फिल्ट्रेशन हो रहा था, बिकॉज आई टेल यू प्रॉब्लम ये थी ना दैट आई हैड अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल इन माई लाइफ हु वर एसोसिएटेड because I kept them very, very happy. And that happy was, keeping them happy was because with my energy, with money, lot of money, बहुत सारी भीड़ तो इसलिए थी because of money. तो मैं इतना people pleasing करती थी, and there was a time wherein I was feeling so used. I was the only one gifting and never receiving gifts. तो मुझे इतना ऐसा लगता था, पहले मुझे अच्छा लगता था दैट आई एम इन अ पोजीशन टू गिव, मुझे ऐसा बहुत ईगो मसाज भी मिलता था, ये बेचारे हैं यार, नहीं अफोर्ड कर सकते, मैं कर रही हूँ, सो आई यूज्ड टू फील रियली गुड अबाउट इट. और फिर बाद में मुझे ऐसा लगा कि ये क्या हो रहा है, आई फेल्ट वेरी यूज्ड एंड अगेन विक्टिमाइज एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट. तो जब भी ये लेवलिंग अप वाला जर्नी शुरू हुआ और बहुत सारी चीजें शुरू हुई, आई सॉ ऑल दीज पीपल डिसअपियर आउट ऑफ माई लाइफ. और फिर ऐसा लगता था भाई इतने स्टैंडर्ड बढ़ा लेंगे तो क्या अकेली हो जाऊंगी. एंड दैट्स व्हेयर आई फाउंड आउट कि नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. इट्स प्रॉब्ली द वैक्यूम, इट्स प्रॉब्ली द लव फॉर माई ओल्ड टी शर्ट इज सो मच. मतलब जो पुराना टी शर्ट था ना, मतलब रुचि, मैं मेरा एक्सपीरियंस बता रही हूँ. कभी हम अपना वार्डरोब डिक्लटर करते हैं ना, तो पुराने कपड़े निकाल रहे होते कि ये मेरे को नहीं चाहिए, इट डजंट फिट मी एनी मोर, इट्स टॉर्न एंड डजंट सर्व द पर्पस, निकाल रहे होते हो. और नए कपड़े आने के पहले जो कबर्ड खाली होता है ना, वो वाली फीलिंग है. तो अब मैं ऐसा सोचते हैं कि बाजार में कपड़े है ही नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, या मेरी कैपेसिटी ही नहीं है और कपड़े खरीदने की, वैसा भी नहीं है, बट मुझे ये लगता था सीरियसली. एंड देयर वाज दिस क्वेश्चन, लाइक अभी अकर्मा ने पूछा ना, या अनामिका ने पूछा कि तुमको चाहिए क्या वो लोग वापस, वो सारी सिचुएशन चाहिए क्या. तो मन में ऐसा आता था कि हेल नो, वो नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन एंड देयर वाज दिस वैक्यूम व्हिच वाज वो टाइम इतना इम्पोर्टेंट एंड क्रूशियल टाइम था. दैट्स वेयर आई लर्नड मैक्सिमम थिंग्स. आई हैव बीन अ पर्सन जिसको रास्ता क्रॉस करने नहीं होता था, मतलब रास्ता में किसी से क्रॉस नहीं कर सकती थी. आई हैड अ, मतलब जब मेरा डिवोर्स हुआ ना, तो मैं ऐसे स्ट्रेंजर्स को हाथ पकड़ के रास्ता क्रॉस करती थी, इतनी मतलब डरपोक थी. आई एम 43 नाउ, ओके, मैं 3 साल पहले की बात बता रही हूँ. तो जब मुझे ऐसा लगने लगा कि हाय मैं अकेले कैसे जीऊंगी, मतलब वॉशरूम तक नहीं जा सकते और वो सारी चीजें नहीं कर सकते, और यहाँ पे जब सारे लोग निकल गए जिंदगी में से, सारे के सारे लोग निकल गए, आई वाज लाइक अब क्या करूं मैं. एंड दैट्स व्हेन आई लर्न मैक्सिमम थिंग्स अबाउट मी. यू नो व्हाट, मैंने ऐसे डिसीजन लिया दैट आई वांट टू बिल्ड करेज. आई वांट टू बिल्ड करेज एंड in 30 seconds I took a decision to take up driving. Seriously, मतलब मैं रास्ता क्रॉस करने से मेरी फटती थी एंड मैंने इमीडिएटली मतलब 30 सेकेंड्स में ऐसे डिसीजन लिया कि ऐसा कौन सा डर है जो मेरे को बहुत खाता है. एंड आई टुक अप ड्राइविंग एंड इन 3 days आई लर्न ड्राइविंग. बॉम्बे टू पुणे गई और पता चला मरी नहीं. एंड आई वेंट टू ऑल दोज प्लेसेस वेर इन आई हैड कॉफी. All the 5 stars of Pune. I had coffee with my ex and I felt I would be crying at those places. I went and I smiled and I ordered the coffee and I did things. I felt so good. वो जो वैक्यूम वाला फेज था ना, उसमें इतनी सारी स्किल्स सीखी. I decided to learn Kathak. I decided to learn swimming. I decided to learn yoga. I did all the things which I wanted to do as a child. And I started listening to my emotions and I started fulfilling me. Okay, and then I don't know what happened. People started walking in my life. अलग लोग. एक दिन तो मैं ऐसे ही सोच रही थी, ये ऐसे कोई ग्रुप क्यों नहीं बनाता है जहाँ पे लोग स्पिरिचुअली एडवांस हो. यू नो व्हाट, एल्गोरिदम ने हैक किया, फोन ने सुना. आई हैव नो क्लू. इन 5 minutes आई हैड दिस मतलब the moment I got out of the victim state to मतलब लैक से जैसे अबंडेंस में आई ना, एंड जैसे वो अपना लैक ऑफ सेल्फ वर्थ से सेल्फ वर्थ पे आ गई ना, दैट आई एम ब्लेस्ड चाइल्ड ऑफ गॉड. मैं हमेशा ये रिपीट करते रहती हूँ, महादेव की लाडली हूँ, तो अच्छा ही होगा, अच्छे ही लोग आएंगे.
Yeah, you practice self-love. Now you started prioritizing yourself instead of others. So you got more value in your life.
And the world is a reflection. The world is mirroring how I treat myself and how I want. And it just started reflecting back. And it's been so wonderful. And I wanted to share this testimony, not to hijack the session or so, but I wanted you to know that I've been there. Okay? And things really change. Things really change. बहुत होता है. कहीं आपको ना कभी अभी भी ऐसा लग रहा होगा ना कि आपको अपना सेल्फ वर्थ थोड़ा कम लग रहा होगा, या तो आपको अपने आप में कुछ कम लग रहा होगा कि लोग नहीं है तो कम लग रहा है, या लोग मेरे पास क्यों नहीं आ रहे. आपने पहले ही बोल दिया था कि मेरे को ये लोग नहीं चाहिए. अब वो कैसे मैच होगा. 92 फ्रीक्वेंसी, 92 जो चैनल बजता है ना, रेडियो चैनल, 92 FM लगाया था पहले. आपको बोर हुआ, अभी आप बोले मेरे को 92 नहीं चाहिए, मेरे को 104 चाहिए. जब आप 104 में गए तो 104 में 92 वाले गाने नहीं बजेंगे. तो आप अगर आउट ऑफ हैबिट चाहते हो कि वही लोग आपके पास आए, जिद भी तो है ना कि वही लोग आके मुझे वापस प्यार करें, वही लोग आके मुझे मनाए पटाएं और साथ में घूमने को लेके जाएं. फ्रीक्वेंसी तो बदल गई है ना. 104 में वो गाने तो नहीं आते, 92 वाले. तो अभी जो वैक्यूम है ना, it's such a beautiful phase right now for you to actually script your life and create this whole thing, कि मेरे को अब लाइफ से क्या चाहिए. and you see universe actually responding and sending those people. कुछ दिन पहले ना अभी अकर्मा का मैसेज आया था. the day he was ready, he met Anamika through LinkedIn. Beautiful. Oh my god, I was getting goosebumps कि like हाँ यार, मतलब दिल बाहर निकल आ गया मेरा. ये सुन के कि see how much validation is happening of what I believe. So I think Ruchi, you're such a beautiful phase of life right now. जहाँ पे वैक्यूम हो रहा है, उसको उन चीजों से भरो. घर खाली हो रहा है, उनमें वो चीजें लेके आओ जो आपको चाहिए. नई चीजें लेके आओ जो आपको पसंद है, जो आपको अच्छा फील कराएगा. और किसी चीज की कमी नहीं है, सब कुछ है. एंड समटाइम्स हमको ना जो रिश्ते बनाने होते हैं ना, कभी कभी हमको ऐसा लगता है कि वो रिश्ते ब्लड वाले रिश्ते ही हो, पुराने वाले ही हो, या तो फेरे वाले ही हो, या सिग्नेचर वाले ही हो. जरूरी नहीं है. रिश्ते जब आप अपनी एनर्जी और अपनी वाइब और अपने विजन और थॉट प्रोसेस से बनाते हो ना, ओ माय गॉड, यू विल थ्राइव सो मच एंड यू विल बी लिविंग द बेस्ट लाइफ. You will be living the best life, you will be thriving, you will become the best version of yourself. And वो फ्रीक्वेंसी में आपके साथ और कितने सारे लोग थ्राइव करेंगे पता है, इतना मजा आता है यहाँ पे. Come here, it's a great place to be, I'm telling you. Fill it with all that you desire, not all that you have, you're feeling कि मिस हो गया. Just fill this vacuum. ये कबर्ड में ना कौन कौन सी अच्छी अच्छी ड्रेसेस लगाओगे, अच्छे अच्छे कपड़े लगाओगे, क्या क्या चाहिए लाइफ में, वो सारा डालो, देखो कितना ब्यूटीफाई हो जाएगा. That's all I wanted to share with my heart, Ruchi. I hope that does justice. I hope that does justice. है ना?
Thanks. Yes,
Thank you
yes.
so
Thanks,
much.
thanks, Mamta, for that. In fact, I wanted to take this, what she's talking about, take this forward with one topic which I have talked before also. But I'll say that again. So I'll just take 5 minutes to explain this a little bit even more. If someone wants to also feel ki kahan they are stuck. So hear this example fully, what I'm going to share, and then evaluate for yourself. So this frequency thing that she's talking about. So some of you may be from the science background, और अगर नहीं हो तो कोई बात नहीं. School में we have done this experiment which was called the resonance experiment. So if you know ki there's these Turing forks that we used to get, and each Turing fork is of different density and all that. So they vibrate. When they vibrate, they have their own frequency. So something will be vibrating at 300 hertz or 400 hertz or 500 hertz and all that. So their shape, their density, all that will be different for different Turing forks. So the experiment, the resonance experiment was that if you strike a Turing fork and it is vibrating, let's say I strike a 400 hertz Turing fork, it is vibrating. If I bring a 300 hertz Turing fork next to it or a 500 hertz Turing fork next to it, nothing will happen. But if I bring another 400 hertz Turing fork next to it without touching it, then it will also start to vibrate by resonance. That is what we call resonance. So इसको हम अपनी लाइफ में भी हम बोलते हैं ना कि उनसे उससे रेजोनेंस नहीं हो रही या क्लिक नहीं हो रहा या फ्रीक्वेंसी मैच नहीं हो रही. ये जो टर्मिनोलॉजी है ये यहीं से आ रही है. यही बैकग्राउंड है इस टर्मिनोलॉजी का जो हम डे टू डे लाइफ में यूज करते हैं. तो अब दीज ट्यूरिंग फोक्स आर फिक्स्ड, राइट. ये तो नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स हैं, दे आर फिक्स्ड. वो तो जो ट्यूरिंग फोक आपने 400 का बना दिया तो 400 का ही रहने वाला है, 300 का बना दिया तो 300 का ही रहने वाला है. तो ये एक्सपेरिमेंट हमको क्या शो करता है कि व्हेन same Turing forks come in the vicinity of each other, they resonate. The other one also starts to vibrate without you touching, hitting it or anything. So just because पहले वाला vibrate कर रहा था तो इसने भी vibration करना शुरू कर दिया. तो ये resonance experiment था. इसका relevance क्या है हमारी लाइफ में as human beings? So as you know that everything in this universe vibrates. अब मैं वाइब्रेट वर्ड यूज कर रहा हूँ लेकिन आपको ऐसा दिमाग में आ रहा होगा कि कुछ हिल रहा है एंड ऑल दैट. जरूरी नहीं है कि हमारी आई उस वाइब्रेशन को कैच कर सके. समथिंग इज सो एवरीथिंग, ईच एंड एवरीथिंग, योर फोन, द ट्री, द टेबल, चेयर, इनफैक्ट द एंटायर अर्थ, इट इज वाइब्रेटिंग एट अ सर्टेन फ्रीक्वेंसी जिसको मेजर किया जा सकता है विद सर्टेन इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स दैट आर देयर. सो ये तो साइंटिफिक फैक्ट है, so you can check that. So everything is vibrating. You are also vibrating. हम सबकी एक सर्टन वाइब्रेशन होती है जिस पे हम करेंटली, हमारी वाइब्रेशन अफेक्ट होती है हमारे इमोशनल स्टेट से. सो ट्यूरिंग फोक तो एक फिक्स चीज है, वो तो जैसा बन गया वैसा बन गया. हमारे पास ये पावर है कि हम अपनी वाइब्रेशनल स्टेट को चेंज कर सकते हैं. सो इनफैक्ट इस पे भी बहुत सारा लिटरेचर अवेलेबल है. यू डू दैट, लॉट ऑफ वर्क, साइंटिफिक वर्क हैज बीन डन in this. You will see a thing called vibrational chart, which will tell you कि when you are in the frequency of guilt, your body resonance will be, your frequency will be this. If you are in a emotional state of guilt, fear, insult, joy, happiness, bliss, everything has a certain frequency. So person in a certain emotional state vibrate differently, literally. दिस इज अ साइंटिफिक फैक्ट, लिटरली दे वाइब्रेट डिफरेंटली। वो हमें आंखों से नहीं दिखता है, यू कांट ऑब्जर्व दिस विद योर नेकेड आई, बट इट इज अ साइंटिफिक फैक्ट दैट इमोशनल स्टेट अफेक्ट्स योर वाइब्रेशनल स्टेट, which means what? Think of you as a ट्यूरिंग फोक। तो आप अगर गिल्ट की फ्रीक्वेंसी पे वाइब्रेट कर रहे हो, तो आप तो रोज 50-100 लोगों से मिल रहे हो, आपके आसपास तो 50-100 ट्यूरिंग फोक्स आ रहे हैं। रेजोनेट कौन करेगा? रेजोनेट तो आपकी फ्रीक्वेंसी वाला ही करने वाला है ना। जो बाकी डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी में है वो थोड़ी रेजोनेट करेंगे। दिस इज अ साइंटिफिक एक्सपेरिमेंट दैट हैज बीन डन एंड शोन कि आप 400 वाला ट्यूरिंग फोक अगर वाइब्रेट कर रहा है, उसके आसपास आप कितने भी ले आओ, ओनली 400 वन विल वाइब्रेट। उसके आसपास आप 20 ट्यूरिंग फोक्स रख दो अलग अलग फ्रीक्वेंसी के, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। तो आप भी रोज 50-100 लोगों से मिलते हो, तो only people that you will resonate, or they will resonate, who are vibrating in the same frequency zone. तो हम अपनी लैंग्वेज में उसको ऐसे यूज करते हैं कि अट्रैक्टिंग पीपल और दिस गेटिंग। सो वी डोंट अट्रैक्ट एनीबडी एज सच। हम कोई मैग्नेट उस तरह से नहीं कि कोई भूसे के ढेर में से हमने सुई को अट्रैक्ट कर लिया। इट इज मोर लाइक वी आर गेटिंग अट्रैक्टेड टू, यू आर गेटिंग रेजोनेंस विद समवन हु इज इन द सेम फ्रीक्वेंसी जोन। तो अगर आप किसी इमोशनल ट्रॉमा से गुजरे हो, some wounds that you are carrying, you haven't worked on it and all that, तो आप अपनी इमोशनल स्टेट को बेवकूफ नहीं बना सकते, ये समझ लो अच्छी तरह से। आप लोगों को बेवकूफ बना सकते हो, अपने आप को बना सकते हो, ये बोल के कि मैंने तो इस पे काम कर लिया, मैंने तो ये कर लिया, मैंने तो वो कर लिया। ये आप दूसरों को बता सकते हो, खुद को बता सकते हो, अपनी इमोशनल स्टेट को बेवकूफ नहीं बना सकते हो। वो वहीं रहेगी जहां वो है। तो अगर आपको ये लग रहा है कि आपने अपने ऊपर काम कर लिया है, नाउ दिस इज एन ओपन कमेंट आई एम मेकिंग फॉर एवरीवन, दिस इज नॉट फॉर रुचि और एनीबडी एल्स, दिस इज एन ओपन कमेंट, दिस इज ओपन ग्रुप डिस्कशन, सो ओपन थिंग आई एम सेइंग। अगर इफ यू आर फीलिंग कि आपने तो अपने ऊपर काम कर लिया लेकिन अभी भी द राइट काइंड ऑफ पीपल आर नॉट रेजोनेटिंग विद यू, देन चेक, मे बी यू हैवंट, मे बी अभी भी आप उसी फ्रीक्वेंसी पे वाइब्रेट कर रहे हो। आपको लग रहा है या आप चाह रहे हो कि आपकी वाइब्रेशनल स्टेट अब अपलिफ्ट हो जाए, ऊपर आ जाए, यू वाइब्रेटिंग एट अ डिफरेंट स्टेट। क्योंकि जिस दिन वो हो जाएगी ना, जिस दिन वो एक्चुअली में हो जाएगी ना, उस दिन ये टाइप के लोग आपसे रेजोनेट करेंगे, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी आप ऐसे लोगों से मिल रहे हो। दैट इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन टू यू। कमी नहीं है लोगों की दुनिया में, आप ऑलरेडी काफी लोगों से मिल रहे होगे, बट क्योंकि आपकी रेजोनेंस स्टेट वहां पे नहीं है, तो नाइदर दे आर रेजोनेटिंग विद यू नॉर यू आर रेजोनेटिंग विद देम, तो अभी फ्रीक्वेंसी मैच नहीं हो रही है। आप चाह रहे हो लेकिन चाहने से वहां पहुंचोगे नहीं, इमोशनल स्टेट को चेंज करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट अ डिजायर थिंग। बाय डिजायरिंग इट यू कैनॉट चेंज इट, यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन इट। तो अगर सिर्फ डिजायर से कर रहे हो, एफर्ट से कर रहे हो, सिर्फ ऊपर ऊपर से कर रहे हो, और सोच रहे हो कि हो गया, या फिर मास्क कर रहे हो, अंदर से तो बहुत गुस्सा है, अंदर से तो बहुत जेलसी है, ये है वो है, बट ऊपर ऊपर से अभी बिहेवियर चेंज कर लिया है, बातें दूसरे तरीके से करना शुरू कर दिया है, एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर रहे हो उस चीज को, तो ये अपनी इमोशनल स्टेट को बेवकूफ नहीं बना पाओ। वो वहीं रहने वाली है जहां है, जहां इंटरनल स्टेट है। तो दिस इज अ चेक फॉर यू टू सी कि अगर अभी भी यू आर फीलिंग कि आई हैव रीच्ड एंड स्टिल आई एम नॉट फाइंडिंग दोज काइंड ऑफ पीपल, देन मे बी यू हैवंट। दैट इज व्हाट आई विल से। सो अ पॉइंट ऑफ सेल्फ रिफ्लेक्शन कि शायद अभी भी थोड़ा और काम बचा है, आपको लग रहा है कि आप वहां पहुंच गए हो और अभी आपको उस टाइप के लोग मिल जाने चाहिए या हो जाना चाहिए, पर अभी पहुंचे नहीं हो, अभी काम बचा हुआ है। अदरवाइज हो जाता, अदरवाइज वो रेजोनेंस हो जाता, लोग मिल जाते, क्योंकि लोगों की कमी नहीं है। हर टाइप के ट्यूरिंग फोक्स एग्जिस्ट करते हैं दुनिया में। आप अभी अगर रेजोनेट नहीं कर रहे हो या वो रेजोनेट नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो इसका मतलब अभी भी फ्रीक्वेंसी मिसमैच है, अभी भी सिर्फ डिजायर है उस चीज की, इंटरनल शिफ्ट नहीं हुआ है अभी। तो I don't know if this makes sense or not, but that's what I wanted to say. Any comment anybody wants to, अगर इसमें कुछ क्लैरिफाई करना है तो बता दो।
I think that was perfect. I mean,
बहुत अच्छी चीज बताई आपने रेजोनेंस वाली तो राइट दिस यू हैड मेंशन लास्ट टाइम आल्सो आई थिंक इसके बारे में एक बार अगर आप कॉल रखेंगे तो और ज्यादा अच्छा होगा बहुत सारे लोगों की हेल्प हो जाएगी
अभी तो कॉल कर ही रहे थे।
नहीं मतलब ऑन दिस टॉपिक ओनली ऑन दिस टॉपिक
हाँ, ओके, श्योर श्योर, ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम्स। Okay, Mamta, your hand is up. You wanted to say something more?
नो इट्स
पहले से
स्टिल
ही
अप
आप
गॉड
okay,
ये जा क्यों
that's
नहीं
okay.
रहा है
Palak, your hand is up. You want to say something?
Yes, Akarna. So firstly, I want to thank you and Monica for choosing the topic which I suggested. So recently, I was
पलक
actually
काफी बैकग्राउंड नॉइज है। ओके, अभी ठीक है।
is it fine now? Okay. So I was
हाँ
saying
हाँ,
that firstly, I want to thank you and Anamika for choosing the topic which I suggested. Actually, I suggested the self-sabotage topic, and I suggested it because I was recently reading a book called "The Mountain Is You." So I literally feel that for me that whatever I desire in my life or wherever I want to go, I am not able to go there or achieve there because I think I am standing in front of me, and that is somewhere which is stopping me, and I don't know what actually steps should I do. Some of the steps obviously I know which I am already doing with you guys, but still there are some things which are subconsciously stopping me, like for example, if I give the example of like I'm finding a partner for myself, suppose. So I know what are the steps I have to do, like I have to meet people, I have to go out in the world and do all those necessary steps and work on myself. So I'm working on myself, but what I realize is, and that's why Akarma, I messaged you that I don't want to spend my energy on other coaches, because this is the thing which I think कि ये भी ना मेरा एक comfort zone बन गया है कि बस बैठे बैठे फोन पे थेरेपिस्ट या कोचेस से बस कोचिंग लेते रहो, एंड देन उसके बाद फिर वो एक काम कर लो, सुन लो, अडेप्ट कर लो, एंड देन उसके बाद फिर ऐसा लगता है कि हाँ आप एक नेक्स्ट लेवल पे पहुंच गए हो, लेकिन होता कुछ नहीं है। तो वो खुद से काम करना पड़ता है, वो तो एक चीज है ही। तो इसमें भी आई हैव आई रेड टू थिंग्स इन दैट बुक, एंड फर्स्ट इज दैट कि आपका जो सेल्फ सपोर्टेज है या जो रेजिस्टेंस है वो दो चीजों से भी आता है। एक आता है कि आपका हर इंसान की अपनी एक हैप्पीनेस की एक अपर लिमिट होती है। सो मुझे ये चीज क्लियर नहीं हो पाई कि क्या मतलब है इस बात का, बट उसमें उस बुक में लिखा था दैट देयर इज अ अपर लिमिट फॉर हैप्पीनेस, और अगर आपको लगता है कि आप उस हैप्पीनेस लेवल से ज्यादा रीच कर रहे हो या आप ज्यादा मिल जाएगी आपको या जो भी है, तो आप उस आप अब तक जो फैमिलियर बिहेवियर पे जीते आए हो, लाइक एक कोई लेवल होगा आपकी फैमिली में जो आप अब तक जीते आए हो, आप वापस उस लेवल पे ही आने की कोशिश करते हो, एंड दैट्स व्हाई अगर आप उस लेवल के उस लिमिट के बाहर जाने की कोशिश करो तो there comes a self-sabotage. And another thing is, it happens when you have two or more internal conflicts, like when your subconscious and conscious brain is not aligned together and thinking differently on different parts. And I know that is the case with me in many cases, but I'm not able to recognize the patterns basically, and I don't know how do I overcome this. So that's why the topic, and that these are the very questions. Thank you.
One thing I wanted to say for this, I guess we have talked about it so many times with you, Palak, and we have gone even deeper to, exactly what are your self-sabotaging behaviors and all that. The thing is, जैसे कि जो अभी आप बात कर रहे थे, what you were talking about, the example that you took, right? I don't know, I mean, in what context the book said that when you start reaching your maximum happiness levels, you try to come back to your normal, what you have considered normal. Yeah. So when it comes to self-sabotaging ourselves, the question that we need to ask ourselves is, what am I afraid to lose in this situation, right? So I'll give you an example, right? So for an example, तो मैं एक बच्चे का एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं, नहीं एक एडल्ट का एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं। एक 30-year-old मेल है, ही इज वेरी फैट, ठीक है। अभी इसके साथ क्या हुआ था बचपन में, दैट दिस गाय was bullied. And the feeling that bullying gave to him was कि मैं बहुत कमजोर हूँ, I'm very powerless, right? And others are bigger in size and that's why they are powerful. So this child got an idea that if I become bigger and broader and larger, then I will not be bullied by other people, right? So now this child has grown, it has become an adult, he is 30 now, trying to lose weight. And the moment he loses weight, ठीक है, जैसे ही weight loss के वो उस पे पहुंचता है, there is something that comes up inside him and says that no. And then without any reasons, this guy stops exercising, stops the diet and goes back to gaining weight. क्योंकि उस वहां पे जो actual issue था, the issue at the deeper cause, which was the trauma which was caused, जो कि bullying के कारण हुआ था, अभी जैसे ही वो पतला होता है, the moment he loses weight, he starts feeling that somebody would come and bully, somebody would do something. So there is something, that safety which he loses in the process. Another example could be, some people feel that in case they get happy, because everybody else around them is unhappy. Everybody is in the victim mode, cribbing about things, complaining about things, and doing all of these things. In case this person becomes happy, and then he or she would be left alone. So to be the the actual deeper cause is that there is the fear of being left alone, right? So ऐसा नहीं है that as an adult this person does not know that they are supposed to be happy, they want to be happy, और वो सब चीजें ठीक है, but the underlying fear itself is कि अगर वो happy हो जाएंगे ना और उनके environment में सब unhappy है, तो वो अकेले रह जाएंगे, right? So there is some or the other connection that we have. Like in case it is about finding the right partner, if you find one, what is it that you're going to lose, right? And in your case, we also did some introspection the last time we were talking, and it came to ownership and responsibility and 3-4 different points that we were talking about. Yeah. So those are the things, the benefit of continuing this behavior, and also the thing that you will lose all of these things in case you reach that point. Yeah, because ये familiarity bias तो है ही, comfort zone तो है ही, but more than that, उसमें उस चीज को lose करने से डर भी लग रहा है. And what is exactly that kind of fear? What are we afraid to lose?
So yeah, right. So in my case, like I mean, I think there are many things. Firstly, like the comfort zone, my family and belongings and everything. Like जो वो लूज करने का फैक्टर है वो तो है ही है, और शायद वो आफ्टर वर्किंग विद यू मतलब मैंने वो रिकॉग्नाइज भी कर लिया है, बट द थिंग इज कि अब वो है फैक्टर और वो रियल भी है, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं बना रही हूँ, सच तो है ही कि वो लूज हो जाएगा. तो नाउ और जो आगे जब जो मिलेगा वो दैट इज अननोन, लाइक सो देयर इज अ फियर ऑफ अननोन, एंड उसमें सो आई डोंट नो. फिर अब वो क्योंकि अब वो जो पैटर्न है अब वो ऐसा है कि क्योंकि अब वो मुझे पता है मैं लूज करूंगी उन चीजों को, और वो फियर भी है और आगे वो फियर ऑफ अननोन भी है, तो शायद वो इसलिए वो अनकॉन्शियसली रिपीट हो रहा है कि जिस वजह से कई बार मैं अपना जो जैसे काम करना होता है, वर्क ऑन माई सेल्फ, तो मैं उस चीज को भी पोस्टपोन करती हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगता है क्योंकि मेरे अराउंड अभी तक मुझे जितनी भी नॉलेज हुई है, जितना मैंने अपने ऊपर काम किया, जितना मैं लोगों को नोटिस करती हूँ, मुझे ऐसा लगता है नोबडी इज डूइंग एनीथिंग, और अगर मैं ज्यादा आगे चली गई तो ये लोग तो अभी मुझे पागल बोलते हैं, आगे पता नहीं क्या बोलेंगे, और फिर पता नहीं मुझे कोई मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा, और अभी भी क्योंकि जो जो मिल रहा है वो रेजोनेट ही नहीं करता, जैसे अकर्मा ने बोला, तो मुझे शायद वो चीज भी कहीं ना कहीं कुछ क्रिएट कर रही है सबकॉन्शियसली, जो कई बार मुझे रोक देती है कि अपने ऊपर और काम करने से, या फिर मैं टालती रहती हूँ. ऐसा नहीं कि करना नहीं है, पर टालती रहती हूँ, प्रोक्रास्टिनेशन होता रहता है. तो अब वो समझ नहीं आ रहा कि वो उसे ओवरकम कैसे करूँ मैं.
इसीलिए तो इसको सेल्फ सैबोटाजिंग बिहेवियर बोलते हैं ना. दिस व्हाट यू आर
हाँ, तो अब
डिस्क्राइबिंग
ये
इज
पता है कि है.
एग्जैक्टली. हाँ, तो अब इसको ओवरकम करने के लिए पहले तुम्हें एक डिसीजन ये बनाना होगा ना कि इसको ओवरकम करना है या नहीं करना है. तो
ऑफ कोर्स करना
इन
है।
द सेंस कि नहीं नहीं नहीं, अगर ऑफ कोर्स करना है तो फिर बैठे क्यों? तो अभी नहीं हुआ है वो डिसीजन। सी, द डिसीजन
अच्छा।
हैज टू बी बेस्ड ऑन द नीड ऑफ डूइंग इट। सो ये तो बहुत क्लियर है कि ये करने से नुकसान क्या होगा, ये तो तुमको बहुत क्लियर है।
हम्म हम्म
सेल्फ
हम्म
सैबोटाजिंग बिहेवियर में हमारा फोकस ही नुकसान पे होता
हम्म हम्म
है ना? कि वट एवर इट इज, कि फियर ऑफ अननोन है, ये है वो है, लाइफस्टाइल
हम्म
चेंज हो जाएगा, लोग आगे निकल जाएंगे या मैं आगे निकल जाऊंगी, ये है वो। नुकसान पे
हम्म।
पूरा का पूरा ध्यान है,
हाँ,
फायदे पे ध्यान
नुकसान पे
नहीं
भी
है।
ध्यान है और जो चीज फैमिलियर है उस पे भी ध्यान है कि ये चीजें मुझे पता है, नोन है, कंफर्ट में है।
हाँ, तो अब नीड के ऊपर ध्यान नहीं है कि इसको करने की नीड क्या है। दैट नीड इज नॉट बर्निंग एनफ।
हम्म।
सो
या
अगर
ट्रू,
अगर वो,
आई नो।
और मैं यहाँ पे नीड की बात कर रहा हूँ, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट अ डिजायर और अ वांट। सो
ओके।
I'm deliberately using the word need, and need
हम्म
by default has a urgency attached to it. So
ओके
so so word, मैं need बोल रहा हूँ तो need ही सुनो, desire या want मत सुनना उसको, क्योंकि
ओके।
desire और want में urgency नहीं है।
हम्म हम्म
ठीक है, वो जब होगा तो होगा, आई इट्स अ विश।
हम्म
तो
हम्म
पहले अपने आप से ये क्वेश्चन तो पूछो कि ये मेरी विश है या ये मेरी नीड है, क्योंकि मुझे इसमें नीड तो कहीं पे दिख ही नहीं रही है, सिर्फ विश दिख रही है कि ऐसा हो जाए तो बढ़िया हो जाएगा। तो अगर वो सिर्फ विश
ओके।
है तो फिर अर्जेंसी
हम्म
आएगी ही नहीं उसमें, फिर तो कभी उठोगे ही नहीं, करोगे ही नहीं, क्योंकि अर्जेंसी ही नहीं है, वो नीड नहीं बनी है। वो नीड कब बनती है ना कि अम, जब इज लाइक समवन स्मोकिंग, एंड वो पैकेट पे
हम्म
भी लिखा होता है कि इसको पीने से कैंसर होता है, बट द पर्सन इज चेन
हम्म
स्मोकिंग, कर रहा है कर रहा है कर रहा है।
हम्म
वो नीड कब
हम्म
बनेगी ना, जब डॉक्टर बोलेगा कि अभी तुमको कैंसर हो गया है,
हम्म
तब नीड बनेगी। उससे पहले तक विश है कि हाँ छोड़ेंगे छोड़ेंगे, आई नो, बहुत बहुत दिक्कत है, छोड़नी तो पड़ेगी, छोड़ेंगे, एडिक्टेड हूँ, नहीं छोड़ी जाती है, छोड़ दूंगा तो फ्रेंड्स के साथ बैठता हूँ, सारे फ्रेंड्स सिगरेट स्मोकिंग करते, मैं क्या करूंगा। मैंने ये एक्सक्यूजेस सुने लोगों के। आई यूज्ड टू डू स्मोकिंग डी एडिक्शन यूजिंग एनएलपी। तो उसमें एक, एंड इट वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी टू नो कि रीजन क्या है स्मोकिंग का।
हम्म
तो दीज रीजंस पीपल हैव गिवन मी कि इसको छोड़ने का नुकसान ये है कि आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू फिट इन इनटू द ग्रुप एनीमोर, क्योंकि बाकी सारे लोग स्मोक करते हैं, फिर मैं क्या करूंगा वहां खड़े होकर।
हम्म
तो जब ये है तो फिर आपकी विश ही रह जाती है ना, नीड नहीं बनी ना। अब कल को जब आपको डॉक्टर बोल ही देगा कि भैया अभी अभी अगर ऐसा चलता रहा ना तो 1 महीने में डेफिनेटली कैंसर डेवलप हो जाएगा, फिर उस इंसान को ये फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा कि मेरे मेरे फ्रेंड्स स्मोकिंग कर रहे हैं, मैं बिना उसके खड़ा नहीं रहता, वो खड़ा होगा बिना स्मोकिंग किए, क्योंकि अभी
हम्म
डॉक्टर ने घंटी बजा दी है।
हम्म।
दैट इज अ नीड, इट हैज एन अर्जेंसी टू इट। उससे पहले तक सिर्फ एक विश है। तो अगर अगर
तो वो
सिर्फ विश पे ही
अर्जेंसी
बात चल रही
लेवल
है
तक
तो
हम
फिर
ना पहुंचे और विश को नीड बनाए, तो मतलब जरूरी है कि हम अर्जेंसी पे जाके फिर जब सर पे एकदम आ जाए तभी करें कुछ?
हम्म, हाँ,
मतलब मुझे ऐसा नहीं
जरूरी
करना।
for you, yes. Some people are able to do it. See, everyone has different design,
हम्म
so you are not that kind of a person. So there are different types of people. Some people are more proactive in nature, who plan
हम्म
ahead. वो थोड़ा देखते कि हाँ ये ऐसा हो सकता है, मैं ऐसे करूंगा, तो ये पहले से प्रोएक्टिव, दे टेक एक्शन। सम पीपल जब तक वो वहां पहुंच नहीं जाते, उस चीज को एक्सपीरियंस नहीं कर लेते, तब तक उस चीज के ऊपर एक्शन नहीं लेते। तो
ओके।
so the different types of people are there. So the kind of person you are, this is the only thing that will work for you. You have to create urgency, then only you will get up.
मतलब खुद
क्योंकि
से
विश
कैसे
के
अर्जेंसी
बेसिस पे
बनाऊं?
अगर हो सकता होता तो फिर हो जाता ना, अब तक फिर हम बात थोड़ी कर रहे होते। तुम ये मेरे से क्वेश्चन ही पूछ रही हो कि क्या ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। तो तुम्हारे केस में ऐसा नहीं हो सकता।
ओके
होना होता तो हो जाता। तो
ओके, तो मतलब मैं कैसे बनाऊं फिर इसको, अर्जेंसी कैसे क्रिएट करूं? मतलब नहीं है अर्जेंसी तो मतलब ठीक है,
अर्जेंसी का
प्रेशर
मतलब
है,
क्या
सब है,
समझती
बट
हो? अर्जेंसी
अर्जेंसी मतलब
मीनिंग
कोई
व्हाट?
काम करना है तो करना ही है।
हाँ, फिर उसके बाद आनाकानी नहीं चलेगी। उसके बाद ये फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा कि मेरे बड़े हो जाने से ये लोग छोटा फील करेंगे, या ये हो जाएगा या वो हो जाएगा। मतलब इन इन सब चीजों के ऊपर एक भारी आर्ग्यूमेंट रखना है, तराजू का दूसरा वाला पलड़ा भारी करना है। They have to come up with a really solid and very heavy argument to make these arguments lighter.
ओके, सो सो जो मेरा सेकंड पॉइंट था, लाइक कि जो हमारे दिमाग में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स होते हैं चीजों को लेके, आई गेस वो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट शायद मेरे दिमाग में बहुत ज्यादा है चीजों को लेके, मुझे वो सॉर्ट आउट पहले करने पड़ेंगे। एम आई राइट?
मतलब कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स हैं।
आई मीन किसी भी एक चीज को लेके जो डबल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स होते हैं, लाइक मेरे सबकॉन्शियस कुछ और कह रहा है मुझे, लेकिन कॉन्शियस ब्रेन कुछ और कह रहा है।
सॉर्ट आउट कैसे करोगे?
जैसे
मतलब
जैसे
ऐसे दिमाग
जैसे
में ही
मान लो,
एक
जैसे मान लो शादी
लाइक
करनी,
कवि
शादी का
सम्मेलन करने
टॉपिक
वाले
है।
के दिमाग में। हम्म,
नहीं, एज इन की एक डिसीजन पे तो पहुंचना पड़ेगा ना। जैसे जैसे अगर एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल है, जैसे अगर मान लो किसी को शादी करनी है, तो दो चीजें होती हैं, शादी कर भी लो नहीं भी कर लो, दोनों में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। और करना भी सही है, ना करना के भी अपने प्रोस कॉन्स है, करने के भी अपने प्रोस कॉन्स है। अब ये दोनों चीजें मेरे दिमाग में भी कहीं ना कहीं चलती रहती है। मुझे ऐसा लगता है शायद इस वजह से आई एम डूइंग सम डिलेस और
नहीं,
समथिंग
यू विल
इन
नॉट गेट
दिस
एनीवेयर।
रिगार्ड्स।
ये अगेन अगेन यू आर टेलिंग मी दिस। तो फिर ये हुआ क्या आज तक तुम्हारी ऐसा? ये कर पाए? ये स्ट्रेटेजी से काम हुआ क्या?
नहीं,
तुम्हारे
मतलब
लिए नहीं
नहीं।
होगा। तुम्हारे लिए नहीं होगा, वही तो मैं तुमको समझा रहा हूँ। तुम अपना डिजाइन समझ के चलो, कुछ भी कॉन्सेप्ट कहीं भी मत यूज करो। वो जिस किसी के लिए हो सकता होगा वो हो जाएगा, तुम्हारे लिए नहीं होगा। तुम्हारे लिए ये प्रोस कॉन्स वाला वर्क नहीं करेगा। तुम्हारे लिए वर्क वो करेगा कि फर्स्ट यू डिसाइड कि मुझको ये करना है। फॉर यू दैट कम्स फर्स्ट।
ओके,
तुम जब तक प्रोस कॉन्स में घुस के डिसीजन बनाने की कोशिश करोगी, तुम कभी नहीं बना पाओगी। आई एम गारंटिंग यू दिस। तुम बना ही नहीं पाओगे प्रोज कॉन्स में घुस के। तुम्हें डिसीजन पहले बनाना है, प्रोज कॉन्स बाद में ढूंढना। दैट इज द
तो
ओनली
फिर
वे
मैं
इट विल
कैसे
वर्क फॉर
डिसाइड
यू।
करूंगी कि वो जो मैंने डिसीजन लिया है वो सही
नीड
है या गलत है?
नीड
अच्छा, ओके।
डिसीजन सही या गलत थोड़ी होता है। कॉन्सिक्वेंस पे पता चलता है कि सही है। डिसीजन कौन सा सही या गलत होता है? नीड है तो है। नीड कैसे सही या गलत हो सकती है?
ओके,
Decision is based on the need. What is the need to do this? Or what is the need to not do this? Whatever it is, उसका आर्ग्यूमेंट बाकी सारे आर्ग्यूमेंट्स पे भारी होना ही पड़ेगा, तभी तुम उठ के कर पाओ।
गॉट इट, गॉट इट।
एंड ये कहाँ पे जाना है, ये डायरेक्शन यू ऑलरेडी नो, बिकॉज this is bugging you constantly that you're sabotaging it. तो
हम्म।
बग हो रहा है मतलब मैटर करता है, वहां पे कुछ तो डिसहार्मनी, कुछ तो मिसअलाइनमेंट है, तभी बग कर रहा है, right? So already the direction is there, right? Another thing which is important for us to understand, especially for people who self-sabotage too much, who procrastinate, run behind perfection, criticize themselves too much, who don't have a happy relationship with mistake, like the example that we are taking, from the story of Palak. When we make this decision, when we come to this decision point, consciously कि हाँ अभी मुझे ये करना है and I have to move out of my comfort zone, हमारी ये जो कंफर्ट जोन में रहने वाले लोग होते हैं, दे आर पीपल हु आर ड्रिवन बाय कंफर्ट मीनिंग बाय comfortable feelings and being comfortable in an environment. A different decision is not going to feel as good in the beginning. If you have a habit of eating like whatever you want to eat, sleeping whenever you don't have a routine, doing whatever, not doing the actions that you want, or you continue to you know whatever way, whatever decisions that you take to keep yourself in the comfort zone, when you move out of it, you need to remember this, that it will feel like shit in the beginning, right? Exercise करने हम जब 3-4 दिन एक हफ्ते जाते हैं in the gym, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel
Yes.
comfortable. It's not very happy feeling that you get. But we need to stay there for a little long, क्योंकि यही तो पैटर्न है जो हम break करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. This is exactly what we are trying to break. We are so attached to that comfort zone, which is there. And not just discomfort. A lot of fears would come up, a lot of questions would come up, a lot of things, if I lose this, if I lose that, subconsciously, a lot of these things will come up. But is particular case or is particular situation me where we sabotage ourselves, like Mamta was, shared. By the way, I wanted to thank you, Mamta, for sharing your story. It was beautiful. So I'm quoting your example. Like she was saying that she had not done any of these things in her entire life, and then one day she decided that, so if you see in that parallel example, she took that decision point, right? Margaret, there is noise from your side. Can you please mute yourself? I'll do that. Yes. So if you look at Mamta's example that she gave, that decision point came first. It wasn't life pushing her or कुछ magical हो गया ये, but she made that point in her head कि करना है तो अभी ये करना ही है, because this is putting me towards, this is what I want to live like, right? And then उसके बाद there is no point कि हम ये बोलें कि अच्छा रोड क्रॉस करते टाइम उनको डर नहीं लगा होगा. She must have felt dreadful doing it for the first time. But going through that fear was important for her so that she could come out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So जब हम start करते हैं कोई भी इस type की चीज, when we are moving out of our comfort zone, all sorts of things are gonna be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I got it कि मतलब मैं अभी तक क्या कर रही हूँ कि जैसे मान लो अगर मैं एक चौराहे पे पहुंच गई हूँ, मेरे सामने 4 रास्ते हैं, तो मैं चौराहे पे बैठे बैठे ही सोच रही हूँ चारों के कैलकुलेट करके कि किस रास्ते पे क्या होगा, इंस्टेड कि मैं एक रास्ता चूज करूँ, उस पे चलूँ और फिर उस रास्ते पे जो भी हो उसको फेस करूँ, राइट?
Anamika, sorry, can I speak out of turn here? I just wanted to add a little, if that is okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So the other day when I had a clarity call with you both, so you guys made me realize that even I am indulging into self-sabotage behavior, which I was calling as procrastination, or I was waiting for that one fine day, that one perfect moment when I will do something which I wanted to do, which is going to help me in my future. And there were reasons behind it, like fear of failure, fear of success, and a lot of other things. So after that call, I again had an introspection session with my own self, and then I decided, I knew that I am in that situation where I am just not taking that next step. Like I had a particular tasks lined up that I wanted to sit and study. I wanted to start my driving lessons. I wanted to go back on my schedule of exercise and everything. And I was just not able to push myself to overcome that procrastination, because my subconscious mind was continuously telling me कि ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा. So how I overcome it came it was when it came to like first thing I wanted to sit and study, I always used to wait कि मुझे कब बहुत सारा time मिलेगा, वो perfect undisturbed time जब मैं पढ़ना शुरू करूंगी. But then I realized that probably that time will never come, because I am not even starting with the first 10 minutes. So what I did was that I left whatever I was doing, unnecessary stuff at that time. I just left it. I realized I have 15 minutes right now with me. Let me study for those 15 minutes. अगर दिन में 15 मिनट ही मिल रहे हैं तो 15 मिनट से शुरू करते हैं. I started with 15 minutes, and as of now I can dedicate around 1.5 to 2 hours at least on a daily basis. So I stopped waiting for that perfect moment. I had to tell my subconscious mind, acha chup kar jao 2 minutes, let me do this. So when it came about exercising, I used to wait कि अच्छा मौसम थोड़ा ठीक होगा, आज बारिश नहीं होगी, आज ये होगा, या सुबह जब मैं टाइम से उठ जाऊंगी तो जाऊंगी, then I realize it's not happening. That perfect moment to go out for a walk is not coming. So today I did that today itself. I thought, oh, I want to go for that walk today. I'll do it now itself. I was doing my work, my office work. I asked my manager, I said, I need a half an hour break. He said, fine. I just picked up my headphones and I walked out of the house. I will do it now. I will not wait for that perfect moment. Same was for my driving lessons. I was waiting for that perfect moment to come when I will call that guy and I'll tell him ki tum aa jao and I'll start that driving lesson. So I told my subconscious mind, okay, now you are stopping me from doing this. Now you keep quiet for 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, I quickly picked up my call and I told him, Bhaiya, kal pahunch jana. That's it. So I think I don't know if it works for other people or not, but it has been working for me after I have realized that the thing that I was calling as procrastination, or maybe a conflict in my mind, or the all the reasons I was giving myself for not doing it, was basically a self-sabotage behavior. Now when I know I am sabotaging myself, so the only thing I did was ask myself to keep quiet for 5 minutes and start doing that activity right at that moment. And once I was into it, then I was into it. I was doing it. As simple as that. So I think I have overcome that clarity call worked for me a lot. Thank you, Karma. Thank you, Namika. But yes, I am already doing 3 or 4 tasks which I was procrastinating. I'm doing it already. Thank you so much. I hope that works for you also,
Thank you.
Palak, if you try that.
Thank you for sharing that, Amanpreet. We are so happy to hear that.
Thank you guys for that. Thank you. At least for
Thank you.
making me realize that the
And
behavior was basically a self-sabotage. I didn't even know that word till the time Akarma introduced to me, and I was taken aback that, oh, this is what I'm doing to myself. I hate when people do that to me, but it was a more awakening call for me to realize that it's not people who are doing it, is me who's doing it to myself.
actually, this is very good point that you have shared, Amanpreet. क्योंकि पलक, I was trying to bring your focus to this only. तुमने ये पॉइंट पकड़ा नहीं, वो जो अमनप्रीत ने पकड़ा. आई होप कि तुम अब इसको पकड़ोगी. मैंने तुमसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि ये दिस इज व्हाट यू एक्सप्लेन इज सेल्फ सैबोटाजिंग. सेल्फ सैबोटाजिंग इटसेल्फ इज अ नीड टू गेट ओवर. तो जब तुम्हें ये चीज अवेयरनेस में आ रही है कि मैं सेल्फ सैबोटाजिंग कर रही हूँ, दैट इटसेल्फ इज अ नीड. यही अमनप्रीत तुमको बता रही है अपने एग्जाम्पल में कि द मोमेंट शी बिकेम अवेयर कि ये तो मैं खुद ही का नुकसान कर रही हूँ, तुमने वो वर्ड पकड़ा नहीं. तुमने उस वर्ड को अभी भी कॉन्सेप्ट की तरह लेके और आगे बढ़ के उसमें और डिस्कशंस करना है. अभी भी तुमने ये पकड़ा नहीं कि सेल्फ सैबोटाजिंग इटसेल्फ इज अ नीड टू गेट ओवर. समझ में आ रहा है अभी पलक?
हाँ कर्मा, आई गॉट इट.
हम्म.
हाँ, जो अमनप्रीत ने एक्सप्लेन किया शायद वो भी मैं भी करती हूँ कुछ कुछ चीजों में. बट जो चीजें शायद बिल्कुल ही आउट ऑफ लीग होती है, या जो मुझे बहुत ही लाइफ चेंजिंग डिसीजन है, शायद उसमें मैं अभी नहीं कर पा रही हूँ. तो उसमें मुझे ये चीजें इम्प्लीमेंट करनी होगी. आई गॉट इट.
हाँ, अपने आप को रिमाइंड करो कि व्हेन यू आर सीइंग कि आई एम डूइंग सेल्फ सैबोटाजिंग, that itself is a need to stop doing it, because the awareness itself is a big enough argument to have a heavy weight on anything else जो तुम्हें नहीं करना है. क्योंकि जब तुम ये बोल रही हो कि मैंने अगर ये कर लिया तो वो, अगर मैं दूसरों से आगे निकल गई तो वो क्या सोचेंगे, ये करेंगे, ये तुम अभी आर्ग्यूमेंट दे रही हो, राइट? दूसरे एंगल पे मैंने तुमको बोला कि उससे हैवी आर्ग्यूमेंट देना है. तो उससे हैवी आर्ग्यूमेंट क्या है? उससे हैवी आर्ग्यूमेंट ये है कि द व्हाट यू आर डूइंग इज सेल्फ सैबोटाजिंग. तो इज योर सेल्फ सैबोटाजिंग नॉट हैवी एनफ to get you moving compared to what others will think?
Yes, I think it is enough, but I have to take the steps.
Not enough yet. हाँ, ठीक है, और सोचो. ठीक है.
Thank you, Manpreet, and thank you, Karma.
Cool. Cool. Thank you, Palak. Let's hear from others as well. Rupali, your hand is up.
Yeah, hi Anamika, hi Dharma.
Hi.
It's a lovely topic. I really wanted to like work on this, and I'm glad we picked up this topic. So मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि बेसिकली अभी मैं कनाडा में हूँ, तो यहाँ पे मैं जब से आई हूँ इट्स लाइक ऑलमोस्ट 2 years, और मैं कुछ एक गोल कुछ एक एम सोच के यहाँ पे आई थी कि मुझे कुछ करना है, मुझे मेरा बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना है, whatever, like I came with those things, but जब मैं यहाँ पे आई तो जो मेरे मतलब आजू बाजू का जैसे एनवायरनमेंट था, जो सारे लोग थे यहाँ पे, बेसिकली मैं एक स्टूडेंट सिटी में आई, तो यहाँ पे सब मोस्टली मैक्सिमम सारे लोग सब स्टूडेंट्स हैं, एंड दे हैव देयर ओन के बाद मैं
Rupali, your voice is breaking.
can you hear me? Is it better?
It's a little better now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, so basically, जब से मैं यहाँ पे आई हूँ, I'm just feeling stuck. और मतलब मैं अपने आप को, मुझे पता है कि ये करना है मुझे, अभी बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने के लिए लाइक वीडियोस बनाने हैं, कुछ करना है, ऑल दोस थिंग्स। और कभी कभी मैंने ये भी देखा है कि मुझे हेल्प करने के लिए सामने से लोग भी आ रहे हैं, लाइक सम ऑफ माय ओल्डर फ्रेंड्स, मतलब जो इंडिया में थे, तो उनको भी पता है कि आई एम स्टक एंड आई वांट टू डू इट, सो वो ऑफर भी कर रहे हैं हेल्प की, चलो हम हेल्प करते हैं वेबसाइट के लिए, हम हेल्प करते हैं यू नो लाइक कंटेंट के लिए समथिंग। बट मेरे से वो हो ही नहीं रहा है, वो स्टेप मेरे से लिया ही नहीं जा रहा है। तो इज इट बिकॉज, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि ऐसे क्यों, इज इट बिकॉज कि बाकी सब लोग स्टूडेंट्स हैं और उनका अलग चल रहा है लाइफ, और मैं उसमें अपने आप को डाल रही हूँ, या क्या है, मतलब वो मुझे क्लियरली समझ नहीं आ रहा है। बट मोस्टली मुझे वो लग रहा था कि बाकी लोगों का जैसे है तो मैं वैसे ही बिहेव कर रही हूँ, बट आई डू नॉट नो कि व्हाई एम आई नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग अबाउट इट। So like that's my question. So yeah.
Yeah, so this is an example of self-sabotaging behavior. So what is the benefit of doing this behavior? What is the benefit of procrastinating?
I think I am just sticking to the level where बाकी सभी लोग हैं और जो कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, जो अपने लाइफ में मतलब उनका डेली रूटीन ही कर रहे हैं बस, तो मैं अपने आप को भी उसी लेवल पे रख रही हूँ।
And what is the benefit of keeping yourself at that level?
I think acceptance from people, क्योंकि यहाँ पे मेरा एक भी फ्रेंड नहीं है, तो I guess that's what is it is.
Right. And is this something that you want? This is how you
Not
want it to be?
No, not at all, because यहाँ पे मैं आई ही इसीलिए हूँ कि मुझे कुछ करना है, and I have to like achieve something, मेरे ड्रीम्स अचीव करने हैं, तो मैं उसके लिए आई, बट नहीं कर पा रही हूँ।
So there is this part of you which you, like in the beginning we were talking about splits. So there is a part of you which is connected to these splits. And I wouldn't exactly say that could be the case. So you'll have to look for it, because sometimes, see, having connection and love and people in our life is a basic, human need. So we cannot deny that. So no matter where we go, where we are, अगर हम human beings हैं तो हमें अच्छा लगता है, right? To have people around, to feel connected with people. So you'll have to first see for yourself कि whether this is just situational like you're talking about, or अगर वो situational है, then what are the fears that are coming up around it, and what is it that you need to do to change your situations according to that. But अगर ये feel होता है कि ये situational नहीं है, right, and it is a split which is having that fear and insecurity that it will be left alone, you won't have anybody, and there was a hint of fear in this, right, while you were talking. So agar ye hai, so like when we were doing the splits integration, do that. This needs to be seen, and of course uske baad whatever we spoke to like whatever, like Palak was giving an example, whatever we talked to her about, the same thing you too will have to do, all of us have to do the same thing for us to overcome this kind of a pattern, because this pattern happens to people who um, actually it happens to almost all of us, because we all have some or the other split inside us. But when we get like too stuck in particular kind of situations, and it's like these conflicting things are going on inside us, then to move out of this thing after becoming aware is to take that action that you need to take. So like Amanpreet shared that you know 15 minutes, she started with 15 minutes, but वो 15 minutes comes with strong determination. Like हम भी जब लोगों को बोलते हैं meditation के लिए, and they have done enough work and अब time है that they need to start building their practice, and because they don't have that practice, so they have to start doing this with strong determination that 5 minute हो चाहे 10 minute हो, for this much time मैं नहीं हिलूंगा, right, I'm gonna do that. So start making that list for yourself. You don't have to go like सारे झंडे आज ही नहीं गाड़ने हैं, right, but at least you can begin with one.
So,
That today this is something that I'll do.
आई थिंक यहाँ पे ना एक चीज और मैंने नोटिस की कि अब भी अगर लेट्स से जिम जाना है तो मैंने वो स्टार्ट कर दिया है ऑलरेडी। और जैसे कि ये स्टूडेंट सिटी है, मैं समझ गई, मैं आ गया मुझे कि इनके वजह से मतलब मेरे माइंडसेट अलग चल रही है ये वो, तो मैंने वो भी डिसाइड कर लिया और आई एम मूविंग एंड ऑफ द मंथ टू अनदर सिटी। मैंने मतलब जो है वो मैं कर रही हूँ, बट ये स्पेशली जस्ट फॉर दिस वन थिंग कि ये बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना है और ये वीडियोस बनाने हैं, ये स्पेशली सिर्फ इसी चीज के लिए 2 साल से मैं देख रही हूँ कि आई एम सेल्फ सबोटाजिंग। बाकी टॉपिक्स के ऊपर मतलब आई एम वर्किंग, उसमें मुझे नहीं लग रहा है कि मैं सेल्फ सबोटाज कर रही हूँ कहीं पे भी। जस्ट दिस वन थिंग यहाँ पे ही हो रहा है, बस एक ही इशू हो रहा है।
हाँ, तो you maybe this is one thing that has come up on the surface for you, that it is about getting acceptance from people, but I would suggest that look deeper into it.
Okay.
Another thing is कि you can also look at the pro bono sessions with the new coaches. So this is a behavioral thing. So talk with them. I think you are already taking pro bono with someone.
Yeah, I'm with Noshni, and yeah, I'm discussing like right
Is
now.
this
I
the
told her
topic you are?
I'm discussing like पहले तो मैंने
A different topic.
competency. No, it is about I think something similar only. Competency and confidence इसके ऊपर मैंने अभी के लिए फोकस किया है, मतलब प्रोफेशनल लाइफ के ऊपर, but not about
हाँ.
business. So I can take this up. Yeah.
But take one by one. So yeah, for anybody who is taking pro bono sessions, guys, don't mix too many things with the coach in one go, क्योंकि वो उनके लिए भी complicated होगा, आपके लिए भी complicated होगा, तो ऐसा नहीं कि सब कुछ एक ही बार में cram कर देना है. So talk one thing at a time, take one topic at a time, and this is a topic of taking guidance from someone. ये कोई एक कॉल से ये चीजें अवेयरनेस वाली हैं. अगर आपको इन चीजों की अवेयरनेस आ गई है एंड यू कैन ब्रेक द हैबिट, जैसे अमनप्रीत ने बात की, अमनप्रीत ने क्लैरिटी कॉल लिया, क्लैरिटी कॉल में उसको क्लैरिटी आ गई, उसने अपने एक्शन प्लान बना लिया, शी इज ऑन इट, बढ़िया. तो अगर ऐसा हो रहा है तो बढ़िया है, अगर ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है, अवेयरनेस आने के बाद भी अटके हुए हो, लाइक यू आर टॉकिंग एंड पलक इज टॉकिंग, अवेयरनेस आने के बाद भी अटके हुए हो, तो दिस इज अ पॉइंट ऑफ टेकिंग कोचिंग। क्योंकि वो ये चीजें ऐसे एक एक कॉन्वर्सेशन में हैंडल करने वाली नहीं होती। कॉन्वर्सेशंस में जैसे ये टाइप की जो हम कॉन्वर्सेशन कर रहे हैं ना, दीज टाइप ऑफ कॉन्वर्सेशंस आर मोर हेल्पफुल टू गेट अवेयरनेस अबाउट समथिंग, अबाउट क्लैरिटी अबाउट समथिंग। इन कॉन्वर्सेशंस में आपको एक्शन प्लान नहीं मिल पाएगा, क्योंकि दैट इज इतना टाइम नहीं है इस कॉन्वर्सेशन में टू कम अप विद to get you accountable, set up some action plan with you, monitor you week by week कि हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, तो वो कोचिंग सेटअप में आता है वो।
ओके
तो
ओके
यूज अगर आज क्लैरिटी आ रही है इस बारे में तो दैट्स गुड एनफ, और अगर क्लैरिटी आने के बाद अगर अभी भी लग रहा है कि अभी भी ये क्लैरिटी तो मुझे बहुत पहले से थी, अभी भी मैं अटका हूँ या अटकी हूँ, so then it is time to take coaching and guidance from someone that can help you
ओके
to move forward in this. Um, that is how will be beneficial for you. Um, anyone who wants to take the pro bono sessions, they can take from the coaches. Um, already वैसे तो there's देख लो, मौशमी और अश्विनी तो अभी full है. Ashia still has some sessions. And then we will be having 2-3 more coaches joining soon as well. So then more coaches will be there. So you take one topic at a time. जो एक burning need है, पहले एक को अच्छी तरह से उनके साथ लग के ना 4-5 सेशन में पहले एक को सॉल्व कर लो. Get somewhere with it. And once you get somewhere with it, then you see ki how you can take this forward. So obviously they are giving 100 coaching hours right now to build their experience. पर अगर आप लोगों को किसी को भी लग रहा है सही और आपको उसमें बेनिफिट आ रहा है and you want to continue, then you can always continue with them by paying fees for their work as well. कि 5-6 सेशन में वो आपकी की सारी लाइफ की प्रॉब्लम्स तो नहीं सॉल्व कर पाएंगे, और वो will be too overwhelming for you and them as well. So take one problem at a time, work with it. If you're finding it beneficial, you can always keep working with them more and see how they can keep helping you further as well. But वो step लेने से पहले you can test it out with them. Take one problem. So अभी जो मौसमी के साथ कर रही हो वो करती रहो. Get somewhere with it first.
ओके
और अगर ये प्रॉब्लम फिर भी रह जाती है और यू फील कि हाँ ये भी एक और चैलेंज है, इसको भी मेरे को एड्रेस करना है, तो देन सी वर्क विद मौसमी फर्दर ऑन दैट.
ओके ओके गॉट इट थैंक यू सो मच
नो प्रॉब्लम्स. थैंक्स रूपाली. ओके, whose hand is up next? Jinky, your hand is up. You want to say?
Hi, thanks. Actually, thanks, Palak. Thanks for sharing the insight from that book on that max limit of happiness. That actually gave me some clarity on my situation, that which I had shared previously earlier in the call. Abhi. So what I have noticed is what's happening with me with my self-sabotaging behavior is my till now a good part of my life my constant state of being was being anxious. So that's what my nervous system knew all these years. And now when I left that toxic job of mine, and I'm right now not working, I'm in this an anxious free mode. So now my system doesn't is not familiar, is not aware of कि मतलब अच्छा ऐसा state of being भी हो सकता है. So now it has looked for other way of being to keep me anxious by not making me procrastinate stuff, the pattern that now I have understood. So I think it is flip. That's where the flip happened, where my mind is like, how can you not be anxious? You have to be anxious, and it makes me stall stuff, and that keeps the crippling anxiety also that makes me dread work, and eventually the reward I get is I meet the deadline, but it is only towards the end. So now the
Hmm.
pattern here is of anxiety. That
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I have known people who actually boast on this thing. They actually say कि when I am under pressure, then my best comes out. So I have met people who boast these things. They feel very proud, but they don't see what you're talking about. They don't see the downside of this कि इसकी इतनी आदत लगा लो तो कैसे this thing can actually start harming your own mental and emotional well-being. So this is the consequence of this addiction.
So now what I'm understanding is if I don't get this, if I don't start working on this, and whenever I'm back in my job sphere, whenever I get that, the my default nature of anxiety state will come back, where I am like on the toes and getting work done even way ahead of time than required, and stay in that state of being of anxiety till I get a validation from my manager or whoever that okay, they're content with my work. But the feeding nature of my personality so far has been very anxious always. So, but right now I don't have that kind of an environment.
होगा
So, um,
होगा ही
uh,
ना अगर आप
mhm.
दिन में 8 घंटे काम पे लगा रहे हो 8 घंटे की प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो काम पे रोज की 8-10 घंटे की तो that is what you are making your mind body used to.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So, is there anything you would recommend to work on myself here when it comes to dealing with this?
don't
Anything?
don't do it. Hmm. Hmm. Um, is it not possible for you to get the same results and all that without taking that load? आपने try किया है बिना load लिए काम करके देखने का?
I didn't understand. Can you come again?
I have one question for Jinsi.
Hmm.
So, Jinsi, is there any good habit that you have, created in your life, which was earlier something you were doing, I mean, which was not benefiting you, and now you have changed it?
Which was not benefiting, but um, yeah, I think validating myself that okay, what I knew was is correct, and I don't need to look for matlab, approvals from others. Maybe whether it is opinion or my observation or whatever. Otherwise, I was always into self-doubt mode. So I think वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा I'm seeing a change in.
And what did you do to do that?
Uh, Actually, I consciously didn't do anything, to be honest. It just happened with that past job when I was able to see red flags at the very first week of journey, and I kept raising it with my managers and directors and everyone, and everyone was just gaslighting me कि ऐसा है नहीं, it's just in your mind, typical that thing कि that's how the work is, that's how this is what is expected of you to do everything. But eventually, when things went out of hand and I said I quit, so that's where I knew कि I was right all the way, all along. So I think वहाँ पे कुछ slip आया है. So I didn't do it this consciously, as far as I can think of it.
Okay. But you had to tell yourselves a different story,
Yes, yes, yes.
right?
I told a different story to myself.
Yeah.
That
So
was
once
incorrect.
we come to a point where we, get all these awareness thing, and we become like, okay, अभी सारी जो बल्ब बंद था वो बल्ब अब जल चुका है. तो बट जलने के बाद भी आदत कई बार अंधेरे की होती है, right? Because we have, it's a lifelong practice of being anxious and a lifelong practice of being. So for an example, there is a girl who is anxious, preoccupied, and in relationships, she is so much addicted to chaos and drama. और वो इस चीज को हील करती है, and then she attracts a better relationship where everything is nice and fine, right? And the partner is so secure and makes her feel that way. So at one in the beginning, it's like it would be very uncomfortable for that girl because all she has seen and known is unhealthy, and now
Yes,
she's seeing and knowing the healthy side of life.
right.
So for her to become um, comfortable in this also, we have to, be aware of this thing that, पहली चीज तो ये awareness that this is what I was doing and now this is where I am and this is what I want, right? So constantly we have to little bit, nudge ourselves that, this is how things are for us, right? Now I have worked on myself. So कई बार ऐसा होता है ना that we work so hard on ourselves, we try all the different things, but जब उसका result आता है and we actually get those things and it's time for us to get happy, we again start falling in the same pattern क्योंकि फिर वही the same stories start coming back. But we also need to be comfortable with that being happy is okay. Having a stable relationship is okay, right? So because your nervous system was trained that way, so you have to continue to train it differently. So this is where, when we talk about, 4 levels of the healing journey, once you have got the awareness, you have healed yourself, you have reached all this place, then comes the fourth level where it is about working on your energetic system. Now, working on your energetic system includes working on your emotions, changing your mental state, changing your belief system, choosing things consciously, cleansing your chakras at an energetic level, making different choices and having a different self-talk with yourself, and all of these so on and so forth practices which we actually talk about, they work really well at this stage. So this is the right time. Those of you who have reached that place in those areas of your life where you feel that jo kaam tha wo kar liya, then it's time for us to actually get into these practices. And I guess, like you said, Jinsi, you have already done it once, so the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Beena's hand is also up. Beena, you want to say something? You're there, Beena? In case you're talking, you're on mute.
Yeah. Sorry, I was on mute.
Okay.
So listening through the call, listening to Palak and Jinsi, I wanted to share a few thoughts that it's our mind is very comfortable with familiarity. Whenever there's something which is unfamiliar, that's the fear of unknown, and that either makes us self-sabotage or maybe procrastinate or not take decisions, however we want to put it across. But the fear of unknown, that may happen because we haven't experienced it ourselves or we haven't heard it from somebody whom we trust. Palak, especially the example which you gave of a lady or a girl who wants to get married and she's not able to decide, should I get married or should I not get married? Marrying also has its pros and cons, not marrying also has its pros and cons. So that is a situation where it's the fear of unknown. Either you have the girl has seen somebody go through divorce, or she has seen her mother suffering, or she has gone through a bad relationship, or she has either it's self experience, or you've heard it from somebody whom you trust, or you have observed it somebody going through that phase. These are the 3 key ways by we start believing and accepting and trusting things and situations around us, and that's how our beliefs are formed. And once a belief is formed, then if we have to change that belief, the fear of unknown comes in. So these were just a few points which I observed and I wanted to share. So thank you so much for allowing me to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, Beena. Yeah, totally. And that's why, when we talk about these fears and everything, it's very important that, while we are on this space where we okay, am I not audible?
You're audible.
Your
Okay,
voice was
okay,
lost in between.
okay. I was saying, yeah. So when it comes, we identify these kind of patterns in us. The first thing is to, bring awareness and see what does this pattern include? Where is it coming from? Why is it the way it is? Because there is certainly a reason behind it. And then resolving those things, and while we continue this journey, we go on this point where we reach, ki acha, abhi I have done enough work, good work. Then comes the point of, taking actions, because there's nothing that can actually, replace actions, right? Be it internal actions, your own talk with yourself, be it external actions that you actually need to take in the outside world. So we always say that awareness, yes, but सिर्फ awareness से कुछ होगा नहीं. Because if we, like Palak gave a very good example, that happens to a lot of us, that, when we recognize this thing and we love doing self work, we enjoy doing this, but there comes a time where, we attach ourselves to this thing itself of doing self work, and we get so engrossed in doing the awareness thing, but still we find out that we are still in the same place, because जो actions लेने थे वो actions तो हुए ही नहीं. So it's like, now we feel कि हाँ भी अंदर काम कर लिया, so कुछ magical होगा, and then God will come to my doorstep, and the like in Palak's case, the bridegroom will be delivered, or whatever we want in our life in that case. But that's not how it works. It's like really a half picture. So what actions we need to take those actions. And that's the whole point of this journey. That's the whole fun of this journey. Right? मतलब हमें पैर दिए ताकि हम चल सकें. Right? So that's how the whole thing is. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share. Anything else anybody wants to say? Akarma, anything you want to add? If there's nothing, then we'll wrap up the call.
No, nothing from my side.
Cool. Okay. Then we'll see you guys next week with a new topic, the different discussion. Thank you
Alright.
so much, guys. Thank you
Good
so
night,
much
everyone.
for wonderful
Thank you
questions.
very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Bye
much.
bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Anamika. Thank you,
Thank
Karma.
you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Garma and Amika. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.